What's up everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. EMT here, and in this video we are taking out for a spin the brand new Moza Mini MX 2, and we're sharing 5 reasons why I love it. Let's go. If you're not new to the channel, you have probably seen some of my previous Moza gimbal videos. I'll leave the link in the description for the Moza playlist. The Moza Mini MX 2 will set you back $109 US, and at the moment of filming this video, it's actually down to $98, and I'm like refreshing the website now just to make sure it's not like something that's old or cached into my browser. No, it is in fact $98 at the moment of recording this video, so make sure you check the link in the description. The Moza Mini MX 2 shares the same exact foldable design as the predecessor, the Moza Mini MX. If we compare both of them side by side, it's really difficult to tell which one is which. Only when we get up close and we see the actual name printed on the body that we can tell, oh, okay, this is the Moza Mini MX 2 versus switching to the Moza Mini MX. It's a little difficult to tell which one is which because the foldable design, as much as I love it, it's the same exact on both. Now when we look at the phone clamp, that's when we actually can start telling the difference. This on my left hand is the Moza Mini MX 2, while the Moza Mini MX is on my right hand. And we can see that that phone clamp is actually longer. And this leads me to my favorite feature and one of the major reasons why I am blown away by this specific gimbal design. The Moza Mini MX 2 has a brand new feature called Smart Auto Sense. Place your phone on the clamp and the Moza Mini MX actually detects the device being placed, and it gives it a little tilt angle so you can keep your phone from falling to the ground. Just place it, the gimbal recognizes and just simply grips your smartphone and readjusts and goes back to the standard position. This is a fantastic quality of life feature that has actually helped me while I'm out and about using my phone. At the very beginning, it took me a little bit to get used to the fact that the gimbal will open up by itself. So in order to take advantage of this, just simply turn on your gimbal and the power button, which doubles as your shutter button. But then when you're done using your gimbal, all you really have to do is simply hold the trigger while simultaneously pressing on the power button, and the gimbal automatically will lean back, open up your grip, and just simply scoop up the phone, and then it recognizes it and it just goes on standby, which is really cool. It just turns off, which is awesome because I've actually dropped my phone so many times trying to place my phone in the grip, and sometimes you have to use both hands, and this just makes it very sophisticated. It's very peaceful instead of that aggressive fighting with the clamp and using pressure to kind of like let your phone out, and it balances your phone on its own, so you don't really have to worry too much about the perfect balancing prior to turning on the gimbal. Now while AutoSense is fantastic, it's a smartphone stabilizer. We took it out for a spin to compare the performance of said stabilization against handheld, good old handheld, inside the Moza Genie app and of course a native camera app. Instead of shaky video, now we're getting kind of like wavy video that kind of like just goes up and down, and the only thing that actually shakes is the actual glare. There is still no replacement to the look and stabilization that the Moza Mini MX2, for example, brings into the table. Cinematic shots like a crane shot or a sliding shot, maybe you want to go underslung, right? Those kinds of shots, while stabilization has gotten really good digitally inside the device, it's still not the same if you're looking to elevate the look and feel of your footage. So I am very impressed with the consistency that Moza has given us throughout the years when comparing the Moza Mini MX to the Moza Mini MX2. Stabilization, I think it's on point. Another fantastic feature that Moza has consistently brought from the Moza Mini Me all the way through the Moza Mini MX2 is the automatic zoom. And this is incredibly useful when you're trying to create those vertigo shots or those dolly zoom shots where the background expands and compresses against your subject. In order to enable auto zoom, just simply double press on the plus or minus buttons on the left side of your gimbal and it'll automatically zoom in or zoom out. Inception Mode continues to be one of my favorite features of Moza gimbals, and the Moza Mini MX2 is no different. Just simply enable FPV mode. You could turn this off by pressing the minus button on the left side, and now using your joystick to go left and right allows you to rotate the gimbal in order to create those really cool Inception, the whole camera rotation kind of shots without having to bend your wrist too much. So it's really cool and really easy to create those awesome cinematic shots. Another fantastic feature that Moza Mini MX brought to the table that continues on with the Moza Mini MX2 is gesture control. With a single peace sign gesture, you can enable your camera to start recording, and just to stop it, just open up your hand and close your fist, and the gimbal will recognize these gestures and automatically stop recording. After a while of not using a Moza gimbal and then coming back and forth to it, it's actually very refreshing because sometimes I forget that you have to like go in and press the button, but when I started testing the Moza Mini MX2, I remember that was a feature, and being able to enable and disable recording, right? Start and stop and recording. It just makes it a lot easier if you're trying to record yourself and you don't have anybody there. It prevents from going back and forth to press a button on the gimbal, which is by itself not a big deal, but it's just so convenient that once you don't have it, you realize how powerful it is. You can also combine the tracking on the Moza Genie app with the gestures, right? This application has actually received a couple of facelifts throughout the years, and it's really, really cool to be able to just select your target and then start recording and stop recording while you're being tracked. And the tracking is actually really, really good. I tested the tracking on an iPhone, and while I was trying to trick it to see if it loses me, it actually performed very well, even covering my face and whatnot. It still stayed on me. When I tried it on Android though, it kind of like blended in. It did really good, but when I covered my face, it actually stayed on my hands, and it was really funny. Just keep an eye out because this feature is predicated on the actual sensor of your smartphone, so different phones might behave different. And since I'm talking about Android, I tested also the Google Pixel 6 Pro, and while the performance was great and the stabilization was great, there are missing features like, for example, 4K 60 are not available, and some functions may or may not defer depending on your smartphone. So you could use the native camera app because the Moza Mini MX2 allows you to control the native camera application. Just pair it to your smartphone and you can actually use the Moza Mini MX2 to control the shutter of third-party applications. The Moza Genie app is feature-packed with a lot of different modes, like of course video, time-lapse, motion time-lapse, and slow motion, as well as panoramic shooting modes. But I gotta say, the layout on the app has grown on me and improved because you have a pro mode that allows you to change your shutter speed, your ISO, and there's filters and different anti-shake modes because now you can customize the difference in image stabilization that the phone is performing, at least on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's really nice to see Moza implementing a combination of not only the digital image stabilization side, depending on your smartphone, and of course, the Moza Mini MX 2. And there's also magic mode, which is virtually templates that you can follow within the Moza Genie app while you're paired with your smartphone into the Moza Mini MX 2 in order to add music, transitions, and camera movements without having to edit, right? It creates an entire sequence of shots to follow, and it spits out in the end a really nice quick video with some music, some editing, some camera movements, some filters. And I think that if this is going to be your first gimbal, the Moza Mini MX 2, Magic Mode will be a really good place to start and start polishing some of those camera moves that introduces you to some of the cinematic moves that the gimbal can do, and you don't have to edit. You don't have to deal with music and stuff like that. It just automatically does it for you. Now, the only thing that threw me off a little bit was the sound of the motors of the auto sense, right? So when you turn it on or off, the actual noise of those little motors can be a little loud if you're in a very quiet environment. But while I was out and about at Disneyland, it honestly, you could even hear it. If you're in public and there's a lot going on in the environment, I barely noticed anything. So just a heads up on that front. But having said that, if you are brand new to the Moza ecosystem, to the Moza family of gimbals, if you're looking to pick up your brand new first ever gimbal, I think the Moza Mini MX 2 is the way to go. $109 standard retail price, and at the time of this video, $98. I think it's a fantastic price considering all the different pricing options across the industry. But on that note, if you already have a Moza Mini MX, you have a fantastic gimbal. It'll be a matter of figuring out if the convenience of using the AutoSense feature will improve your experience. It did for me, and it's one of those things that I've used many gimbals throughout the years, and I didn't think it was going to impact my daily use of this gimbal as much as it did, and I'm actually very happy. So if I was picking up my first gimbal and I'm considering the Moza brand, the Goodson Moza brand, I would definitely recommend the Moza Mini MX 2. But I want to know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down there so we can continue to create relevant content for you. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I will catch you on the next one.